share things. I'm talking right now, I just went live on Facebook. I'm talking about the Branding and Bordeaux group. If you are in that group, you will be able to see this live, or you'll be able to see it recorded forever and ever. This will also be on my Facebook page, where you're more than welcome to see it. So today I am talking again about boundaries and also about becoming an action taker and what those two things have to do with each other. Becoming an action taker simply means that when you get knocked down, you get back up again. You don't allow the circumstances of life to influence your emotions and your actions, or at least you try not to, and you're conscious that your thoughts dictate your behavior and your emotions. So we know that when something happens in our lives, it doesn't mean that we are committed forever and ever to acting this way, or that we need to behave in a certain way for a certain period of time. We are free to behave and have emotions in the way that we want to behave and have emotions, regardless of our circumstances. And that is truly what being an action taker is about. And that is what truly increases productivity, is our understanding that external situations do not dictate the way that we take action in our lives. The beautiful thing about being a human being is you get to decide who you are, and you get to decide what it is that you wake up and you do every single day. And that is amazing news for some of us, right? And for some of us, that's kind of depressing news, because we have had this capacity for so long to choose the way that we are going to behave, to choose the way that we are going to take action in our lives, and we simply have not been choosing correctly, or we haven't been choosing maybe in a way that is most beneficial. I don't want to say correctly, because judging your actions is not helpful, but maybe you have not been acting in a way that has been beneficial for you, for your business, for your work life. If you're working in-house, you might not have so far made the choices that you would like to make in order to become the person that you want to be in your career. So if you have found yourself in this situation where you maybe, are not taking the steps that you wish you were in order to become the person that you want to be, that's okay. If you are watching this live, if you are watching the playback, and if you have gotten this far, then you're clearly interested in becoming a more actionable person, somebody who takes steps toward becoming who they want to be, and not settling for the tide of life that comes in and tells you how you should feel, and not settling for the way that other people tell you how to feel, right? You don't have to settle for that. You don't have to be that. So in order for us to become action takers, we need to become more productive through choosing behaviors. So becoming an action taker means making those tiny little choices that move you toward becoming more, or becoming more fulfilled than you are right now. So I would say that's probably the first step to being an action taker, is just dumping everything, realizing, hey, like, this is not the way that I've been wanting to live my life. I have not been wanting to be this distracted, this overwhelmed. This is not what I want for myself, right? So you dump everything, and then you find somebody to look up to. You find a hero, and not necessarily a mentor. And if you are familiar with the future, you know that not everybody gets a mentor, because people who are mentors often have much of their time taken up by somebody who, one, might already be their mentee, or two, they might actually just be too far away or be too out of reach. So the beautiful thing about the internet is that we can follow people who we consider heroes, people we might consider our mentors that we can look up to, but we don't necessarily need to be paying them, and we don't necessarily need to be in the same place that they are physically. So we don't need to have Zoom meetings or anything like that. We can still find somebody to look up to and say, hey, that is where I want to be in 10 years. That is where I want to be in 20 years. That is where I want to be when I retire. We can find somebody to look up to in that way without having that person 100% physically present and without even having real one-on-one connection with that person. We can know that that is the person that we want to be like when we grow up, right? Next, figuring out what you want in your life. So you know you have this person that you really want to be like. You know, you have this hero, you have this mentor who might not even know you exist, and you want to be like them. And so I want you to take time to consider what kind of traits that they have that you want to have in your life, what they do in their day, and what they do for work that you want to emulate in your business or in your job or in your career path. So I want you to identify those things. Not only that, but I want you to think about the long term. I want you to think about, in 5 years, where is it that I want to be? I want you to think in 5, in 10 years, in 20 years, where is it that I want to be? Maybe your mentor isn't exactly where you want to be. Maybe you want to be married and your mentor or your hero isn't married. Maybe you want to have something set up in your personal life that your mentor might not have. We're all unique and we all get to make these very intricate decisions about the way that we live our lives. So we do not have to, and we are not married to becoming a particular type of person. We can make our decisions for who we're going to be as time continues to go on. So that is becoming an action taker. Becoming an action taker means realizing you can't do it all on your own, realizing that you have been backsliding and that is okay, and that you will continue to backslide. You will take 4 steps forward, 3 steps back, but guess what? You're still moving forward. It happens, right? You are going to, in your life, take steps forward and take some steps back, but you are still moving forward. And that effort of moving forward is what is mattering the most, because in the long term, even if you're taking steps back, you are becoming more than you were. You are taking steps toward becoming that person that you want to be. And, you know, along the way, we'll figure out what it is that is causing you to backslide. What are these things that keep coming up? How can we address those things, right? But in the meantime, we need to really nail down what it is that you want and who you want to be. Because that is what is going to help you be productive. I know it sounds like starting backwards, right? Starting from the big picture and then going in. But really, if we want to know where we are going, it's like with branding. If any of you know anything about branding, or if you are a brander, you start from the big concept. Why it is that this person or this business exists beyond making money. Why this person exists, why this company, this organization exists beyond being here to make money, beyond being here to gather things, gather wealth. What is it that you want to do on this earth beyond your everyday of business? And if your business is the difference that you want to make in the world, that's amazing. But your business also, if your business is going to be the mode with which you accomplish this, you need to have a goal. It can't just be, I want to make money to make money. That doesn't make any sense, and that is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your larger mission as a person. Starting there and really taking the time to consider that. You're starting from a really solid personal development place. And it's difficult for us to do any sort of professional development if we don't have a solid foundation of our personal development first. We need to know personally where we are going in order to make professional decisions. Because if you're out here making professional decisions and you don't know where you're going in life, how are you're letting your professional life dictate your overall life. You're letting money decide what direction you are going in life. And I don't know about you, but that's not the way that I want to live my life. I want to make the decisions for myself. I don't want money to make decisions for me. That is why I believe in knowing the big picture of why you are on this planet, what you want to accomplish as a person, before we can even start talking about the minutia of what you should be doing in your day-to-day. And we will talk about that 110%. We do, I talk about how to be productive, the nuts and bolts of it. And there's so much information out there that you can get. But the hard work of figuring out who it is you are and what it is you want to do, that takes time. That takes effort. It's not simple. I don't have a simple solution for you. And I'm sorry. I wish I had an easier solution for you for becoming more productive, for becoming more centered with who you are and what it is that you are wanting to do ultimately. But I can't make that decision for you. I cannot do that for you. It's all about taking a deep breath, realizing it's okay. It's okay if you don't know this stuff. It's okay if you don't know your larger mission on this planet. That is totally fine. Give yourself grace and make space for yourself to discover what it is you want. Because if you don't know what you want, I've heard Oprah say this, I've heard Sandra Yancey say this, the way that you get where you want to be in life is knowing where you want to go. How are you going to get where you want to be if you don't know the direction you are heading? That is what I have for you guys today. That is becoming an action taker. Now, I have the Action Taker Challenge that will be coming up here next week. And in that, we are going to go through this process on a day-by-day basis for 4 days. We're going to do day 1 as a brain dump, recognizing that you have not maybe been doing things the way that you have been wanting to do them. You haven't been the most productive, you haven't been the most on top of your game, and you really, really want to be. So that is day 1 of the Action Taker Challenge. Day 2 is finding a hero, finding somebody to look up to. Maybe that's not, again, somebody in person. It doesn't have to be a physical mentor. You don't even really need to have Zoom meetings with this person, right? It's somebody that you see online, somebody that you can follow their life really closely, and you know that you want to have a life like them. Day 3 is identifying what you want personally, right? What do you want out of your life? What do you want in your life? Who do you want in your life? And figuring out what traits from that hero person, from that mentor, you want to really reflect in your life and have in your life. Because some mentors are not 100% emulating who we want to be. Some of them are, and that's amazing, but not all of them. So we want to identify what it is we want in our lives. And then on day 4, we are going to be talking about priorities, methods for prioritization, the way that you can just brain dump all of those tasks from day 1. See all of the things that you need to do, that you have to do. And then we can organize those things very specifically, and I will teach you how to prioritize them and what that prioritization structure looks like. And then, so on day 5, I have something called the productivity workshop that I'm going to be doing. It is $24.97 for anybody who is not already a part of the course. If you do the course, it is complimentary, it comes with it. But if you have not done the course, I so recommend doing this. I am going to show you exactly how I organize my messy life, how I brain dump, and how I keep my goals on my daily task board in front of me at all times. I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that. I'm going to teach you, and you know what? It is a live workshop. So if you purchase a ticket to this workshop, not only are you going to see the way that I do it, but I'm actually going to help you do it. I'm going to help you organize your life, your tasks, even personal stuff. Put everything, dump everything into this brain dump. Not just your business stuff. What personally do you need to get done in your life? And then I will help you go through all of that and prioritize it. I will help you do all of that. So that is a part of the productivity workshop that I'm going to be doing. I'm very excited to be doing for you guys. So I so encourage you to join me on this challenge. I'm going to be doing it as well, and I will do it with you guys every single time I do it for myself, because priorities change and the person that you want to be can shift, and that's totally okay. You just need to know where you're aiming, because then you make decisions so confidently and everybody can see how confident you are, guys. That's why this is important. Having a plan and then changing it is 200 times better than not having a plan and deciding you'll figure it out as you go because you're not acting confidently. You're not stepping forward in a confident way on everything. So I so encourage you to do this challenge with me. Even if you don't do the productivity workshop, there is so much value in this challenge that I want you to participate in with me. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. This was a discussion about boundaries. This was a discussion about how you can set those things. We'll talk more about that in the challenge, absolutely, especially as this is the month of boundaries. But setting those priorities so helps you in boundary setting. It sets those boundaries for you. You know what your boundaries are and what your priorities are, where to draw the line, because you know what's important. And I am going to be showing you how you can set priorities. What is priority in your life might not be priority in my life, and that's okay. That's why we do a live workshop about it, right? Awesome. I will talk to you guys later.